So hello everyone, a very good evening to each and everyone out there, and I welcome you all to this amazing platform of PW Gulf. And this is your math educator Shivangi Rajput, and in this particular video we are going to discuss the chapter triangles in one single shot. Yes, so let's see that what we are going to cover in this particular video. So we are going to start with the introduction to the chapter, of course, that what are triangles, the basic knowledge that we already have about triangles, right? The second thing that we are going to learn about is congruency of triangles, then congruent shapes, what is CPCT, what are the criteria for the congruency, some related axioms to this chapter, theorems, properties of triangle, that is specifically isosceles triangle, some more criteria of congruency, and then theorem and some few MCQs. So these are all the topics that we are going to cover in this one single video. So let's start with a basic introduction to the chapter, right? So when we talk about triangles, we have heard about this shape since in our junior classes, right? In our second, third class, we know what is a triangle, right? We know it comprises of three simple sides and also three angles, right? These are the things that we are already aware about. Apart from these things, we know that it has three vertices also, and we know one more thing, that angle sum property of triangle, that is ASP of a triangle is equals to 180 degree. Now what is angle sum property of triangle, students? Basically the sum of all these three angles in a triangle is 180. So this is something about the knowledge that we have already had about the chapter and about the word triangle, right? Now what if we have two triangles? Either they may be equal, right, or they may be unequal. These are the only two things that we have. If we have two triangles in front of us, either they will be equal or they will be unequal. Now depending on what are all the criteria on which they can be equal, this is something that we are going to talk about in congruency of triangles. So the next thing that we have is congruency, right? Have you seen your pair of socks? They look almost identical, right? Almost identical, right? They are same ditto copy paste of each other if we talk about this sock especially, right? So basically what does this mean? What is congruency? Congruency simply means same shape, students. That two figures that we have should be of same shape and more specifically same size. So what makes two objects congruent? Two objects are said to be congruent when they have the same shape, also when they have the same size, right? So the triangles are said to be congruent when they have the same shape and when they have the same size. So these are the two things that we have over here. The next thing that we have is, have you seen these playing cards? Maybe Uno, maybe any other playing cards. And if you place one card over the other card, on the other card, so the card which is present down, right, gets totally hidden. They are totally overlapping each other, right? So these are also same shape and same size. So these two playing cards will be what? Identical to each other, or we can say congruent to each other. I hope now the word congruent is very much clear to you. What does it mean? It simply means same shape and same size, and when we place one over the other, the two are completely overlapped with each other. Right? I hope this thing is clear with everyone. Now, congruency of triangles. Right? So basically, right now I have just told you about some basic properties of triangle. Now, what are those basic properties of triangle, students? It has three sides and it has three angles. So these are the two basic properties. Now, if in any triangle, there are multiple ways where we can prove the congruency. But why do we say that two triangles are congruent when they have the same shape and size? Basically, we can say same angles and same sides. So a triangle is said to be congruent if all the three sides and all the three angles are equal, right? But to prove the congruency, we do not require all the three sides and all the three angles. We require a few of sides, maybe one or two, right? Maybe three of them. We require a few angles, maybe one or two, right? So in combination of these sides and angles gives us certain criteria, and those are the criteria that we use to prove the congruency in two triangles, right? So let's see over here. As we can see, these are four different squares, right? We can say that all of them are squares. That means the shape is same. But now what the difference is, students? The size. The size is not same. So can we say that all these squares are congruent? No, we cannot say that, because even though they have the same shape, that is, all of them are squares, but they do not have the same size. And since they do not have the same size, so we cannot say that these are congruent triangle. We have to say that these are not congruent. Same goes with circle. All circles, right? We know all circles look like this. We are very well aware about that all circles look like this. All circles look like this. But when I talk about the size, you can clearly see the shape of all of them is same. All of them are circles. We will call each and every of this is a circle, right? But what if when we talk about the size of these circles? So the shape is same, yes, but is the size same? No. So since the size is not same, students, so what we will be saying that these are not congruent. I hope this thing is clear with everyone. Now see, these two stars, same shape of star, same size, yes, congruent. The next two smileys, same shape, same size, congruent. The next sun, two shapes, same shapes and same size, congruent. So these are certain congruent shapes. Now, the question comes whether these two frames that we have in front of us are these congruent or not, right? So basically, students, all the figures can be aligned according to what is our need. Which means what? If I just hold this mirror and just flip it a bit to the left, so this will again look like in this shape, and then they will be congruent. So what I want to say is that the alignment of the figures can be different, cannot be different, right? So basically, if I have a bottle, if I have this bottle, and if I have another bottle like this, one is like this, the other is like this, I can flip this bottle like this so that both of them become congruent. So alignment is not the problem in case of congruency. We can change the alignment. We can change the alignment of particular figures. What we can do, we can change the alignment of particular figures and then, right? We can change the alignment of particular figures and then we can say they are congruent. Alright, so let's move forward and see what is CPCT. Alright, so before going ahead with CPCT, we have to learn about some criteria of congruency, right? So for example, two triangles are given to us, right? And we have proved that they are congruent. Now, how can we prove that they are congruent? So there are certain specific rule, or we can say criteria to prove that. Alright, the very first thing that we have to take care of, we will not be using all the angles and all the sides. We will be using combination of angles and combinations of some sides. Right? What will be those combinations? I'll just let you know. But mostly we just require three things. In two triangles, to prove the congruency, students, we just need three things. These three things can be one side or two angles. These three things can be three sides. These three things can be one side, one angle, and then other side, right? So basically it is combination, and not all the combination will give you congruency. There are certain specific criteria and combination that will give you the congruency part. So basically, if I have proven the congruency between these two triangles by taking any three sides and any three angles or combination of something like that. So after that, I can say that the remaining angles, right, apart from these three, the remaining sides and the remaining angles will be congruent to, and they will be congruent to by your CPCT, that is corresponding parts of your congruent triangle. So what does it mean? It simply means corresponding parts of congruent triangle. So this is what it means, right? Let's move forward to the next part. Now the criteria for congruency. Since I have already told you about that there are certain criteria that we are going to use, and those criteria has to be fixed. You cannot make criteria on your own. You might think of that I have told you can make a combination of it, but not all combination will give you congruency, right? As you can say, angle. Triple A will not be a congruency criteria. And why, students? Because just think of an example of equilateral triangle. In equilateral triangle, all the angles are of 60 degree. That is AAA, right? So what if I make one equilateral triangle of side 3 centimeter, but I know the angle is 60 degree. And what if I make another equilateral triangle of side 12 centimeter? Of side 12 centimeter. Now again, since it is equilateral, the angle will be 60 degree. Right? Now what can we see? This is the reason why angle, triple A congruency criteria will not be a congruency criteria, students. And why it will not be a congruency criteria? Just because of equilateral triangle, as angle can be same and the sides can be of any dimension. So that's why. But let us move forward and look forward to what are the congruency criteria. So the first congruency criteria that you have is SAS. I told you three things will be required. A combination of angle and sides. That is it, right? SAS. Side, angle, side. Now what does it mean? See, in these two triangles, students, AB is 2 centimeter. PQ is also 2 centimeter. Angle B is 50 degree. Angle Q is 50 degree. BC is 4 centimeter and QR is also 4 centimeter. So what we can see, the side, the angle and the side of this triangle is equal to the side, angle and side of the other triangle. Over here in these two figures, apart from side, angle and side, apart from two sides and one angle, nothing else is given. Right, but we can say that these two triangles are congruent. See, side, angle, side. So whenever you are using SAS, remember that angle should always come in between the two sides that you are taking. For example, if you are taking AB and BC, so this is the only angle which should be equal, as this, if this angle is given as equal, then it will not be SAS. Right? So for any two triangles to be congruent by the criteria of SAS, students, that angle has to come in between the two sides that are given or the two arms that are there in that particular figure. So such a criteria where two sides and the included angle are equal to each other, then we can say that these two triangles are congruent. Now look over here. Now I can say angle A is equals to angle P, AC is equals to PR and angle C is equals to angle R. Now why can I say this? Through CPCT. As once I have proven two triangles to be congruent by SAS criteria, so apart from these SAS, whatever other sides and angles are given in that particular, are present in that particular triangle, those two will also be equal by your SAS criteria, if we have proven the congruency, then by CPCT, the other parts will also be congruent. I hope this thing is clear with everyone, right? By CPCT, as simple as that. Okay. The next thing that we have over here is now, let's move forward. Let's see the question. Now, in the given figure, in the given below figure, we have OA equals to OB students, OD equals to OC. We have to show that triangle AOD is congruent to triangle BO. Right? As we can see, the one triangle is upside down, this triangle, and this triangle is straight up, right? So we have to prove that these two triangles are equal, right? How will we write? First of all, we will write in triangle AOD students and triangle BOC. Now, in your triangle AOD and triangle BOC, now what we will be using? What we will be using? See, first of all, OB is equals to OA. We have to write the reason as well because it is given to us in the question. We have to mention the reason as well in the bracket, students, because it is mandatory. And why I have said OA equals to OB or OB equals to A, because it is given to us in the question. The next we can say is C. This angle, angle COB, will be equal to this angle DOA. Why? Because they are vertically opposite angles, and in the chapter lines and angles we have read about what are vertically opposite angles. So we can say angle BOC is equivalent to angle AOD, the reason being vertically opposite angle. The third thing that we have, students, is OD is equals to OC, and why? Because it is given to us again. Right? So by C, we have side, angle and side. So we can say that triangle AOD, students, and this is the sign of congruency, equal to with a wave above it. So this is the sign of congruency, is congruent to triangle BOC by SAS criteria, or we can say by SAS rule. So these two triangles will be congruent to each other by your SAS congruency. I hope this thing is clear with everyone. And since I was aware about, right, so when you will complete the chapter, you will also be looking at the figure and be aware about that which criteria you will be using to prove the congruency, right? So when you get aware about, for example, I saw this picture, I saw this figure, and I was aware about that in this particular question, I will be using SAS congruency. So make sure that whenever you are writing what you are saying to be congruent, write it in the same order. See, I was using SAS, so I wrote it down as side, angle, side. SAS. I hope these things are clear with everyone, right? So this will be equal to SAS congruency. Now the next thing, AD is parallel to BC. Now we have to prove that AD is parallel to BC, right? So first of all, if these two triangles are congruent, students, I can say this angle is equals to this angle. I can say that angle BCO will be equal to angle ADO. And why can I say this by CPCT? See, once I have proven the congruency in two triangles, so as per CPCT, what can I say? The remaining angles and the remaining sides will be equal to each other. Right? Now, as we can say that BCO and ADO are forming alternate interior angles. Right? So, what we can say that since alternate interior angles are equal, as we can clearly see that since alternate interior angles are already given as equal, then what we can say? We can simply say that AD or BC is parallel to your AD. First of all, what we did, we proved the congruency in the two triangles, that is your BOC and AOD. Right? Now, what we can say that angle BCO is equals to angle ADO by CPCT, that is the corresponding parts of your congruent triangles. Now, after that, what we can do, we can clearly see that these two angles are forming alternate interior angles, and since by CPCT we have already shown that alternate interior angles are equal, so the lines will be parallel as the converse of it. The next question or the next criteria that we have over here is angle side angle. Now one is SAS, where two sides and the included angle is taken. The next criteria that we have is angle side angle, where two angles and the included side, right? The side which is present, see, if one angle, angle B, is equal to angle E, angle C is equivalent to angle F, and the side which is present in between these two angles is equal, which means this side is equal to this side. So we can clearly say that these two triangles are congruent by your angle side angle congruency, or we can say via your ASA congruency. These two triangles will be simply congruent to each other, right? So this is the thing that we have. Now the next thing, let's look forward to the next part. Okay, now in this question, it is given that AB is parallel to CD. Now we have to clearly see, and sometimes you have to write too, right? Let us write down what is given to us. So what is given to us is AB is parallel to CD. AB is parallel to CD. The second thing that is given to you is O is the midpoint of AD. What is given to you? That O is the midpoint of AD. That means this AD is divided into two equal parts by this O. So we can say that OA is equals to OD. Why we can say that? Because O is the midpoint. Now we have to show that triangle AOB is congruent to triangle DOC. Right? Now let us do the proof. Let us do the proof, students. So in the proof, first of all, we have to write which triangles we are choosing. So in triangle AOB and triangle DOC. So these are the two triangles that we are choosing for congruency. Now AOB and DOC are there. So what we can say? We can say that OD is equal to OA, students. Or first of all, let's mention the angles, right? The very first thing that we can clearly say is this particular angle is equal to this particular angle. What we can say is that angle AOB is equal to angle DOC. Why we can say that? Because these are vertically opposite angles. How we can say that? Because these are vertically opposite angles, as AOB will be equals to COD. We can also say that OA equals to OD. And why OA is equals to OD? Because O is midpoint. Why we can say this? Because O is the midpoint of your particular line. So OA will be equals to OD. Now the next thing that we have, students, is that angle OCD. What we can say? Simply that angle OCD will be equivalent to your angle OBA. And why we can say that? Because these angles are forming alternate interior angles. Why we can say that? Because this angle is equal to this angle, and since alternate interior angles are equal, students, so what we can say that these two angles are equal, right? Why? Because AB is parallel to CD. This is already given to us in the question, and by using that we have given alternate interior angles. Now what we can say, students, that triangle AOB will be congruent to triangle DOC. Now look at the figure. What we have taken, students? We have taken this angle, this side and this angle, this side and this angle. So angle side angle, Angle side angle criteria. So by angle side angle criteria, these two triangles will be what? These two triangles will be congruent by ASA criteria, that is angle side angle criteria. I hope this thing is clear with everyone. Let's move forward to the next part. Now we have to show that O is also the midpoint of your line BC. Now first of all, we have already proven the congruency in these two triangles by your angle side angle criteria, right? ASA criteria. Now we can say that OC is equals to OB by CPCT. As I have already told you that once you have proven the triangles to be congruent, I have already told you that once you have proven the triangles to be congruent, you will say that yes, other parts are also equal by CPCT. And since OC is equals to BC, so O is also the midpoint of BC. So O is also the midpoint of BC. I hope this thing is clear with everyone, right? Let's move forward to the next question. Now in this question, it is said that in quadrilateral ABCD, AC is equals to AD. Now first of all, let's start writing what is given to us, right? So what is given to us, student? We are given that AC is equivalent to AD. All right. AB bisects angle A. I hope you're aware about what does the word bisects means. Bisects means splitting a particular line or angle into two equal parts. So if I say that AB bisects angle A, so we can say that angle BAC, that is this part, is equal to angle BAD if it bisects. Right? Now we have to show that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle ABD. Now let's do the proof part. Right? Alright. So first of all, we have to write down which triangles we are taking. So we are taking triangle ABC and triangle ABD. Right? The very first thing that we can write is AC is equals to AD. That is the simplest thing because that is given to us, right? So we can write first of all that AC is equals to AD, students, and why? Because this particular thing is already given to us in the question, right? The next thing that we have is angle BAC. Angle BAC is equal to angle BAD, and why we can say this? Because AB bisects angle A. AB bisects angle A. The next thing, we have to think about it. Nothing else is given to us, right? But as we can clearly see, this AB is also a part of triangle ABC, or we can say ACB. This AB is also a part of triangle ADB. That means this AB is common in both the triangles, and if it is common in both the triangle, it has to be equal, right? So what we can say that AB is equal to AB because it is common side, because this side is common. So what we can say that triangle ABC, students, is congruent to triangle ABD by side angle side criteria, by SAS rule, or we can say SAS criteria. I hope that this thing is clear with everyone, right? Let's move forward in the second part. What can you say about BC and BD? Now, since we have proven that these two triangles are already congruent, so we can simply say, students, that BC is equivalent to BD by CPCT, that is corresponding parts of your congruent triangles. I hope this thing is clear with everyone, right? Let's move forward to the next criteria, that is angle side, right? That means two angles and the next side. Now how does is it different from your ASA? Now we have two criteria. See, we have learned three criteria by now. SAS, ASA and AAS. Right? One triangle, two triangle and third triangle. Alright. So let's learn about it, students. What we can clearly see. What does side angle side means? This side, this angle and this side, right? If we have to take this side and this side, so this angle will be included. So this is side angle side, right? For example, if I will be including these two sides, so this particular angle has to be included. So two sides and the angle which is present in between. Now what is angle side angle? Two angles and one side in between them. If I am taking this angle and this angle, if this angle and this angle is equal to these two angles of any other triangle and the side which is included in between these two angles, then it will be angle side and angle. Now what is AAS? Angle side. Now that means two angles will come next to each other, and after these two angles, if the side is given equal, see, the side is present in between the two angles. The side is present after the two angles. So this is ASA and this will be angle side. It is all clear with the name angle side, two angles together, then the side. ASA angle, then side in between, then angle. So this is the difference, right? I hope the difference is clear with everyone. Let's move forward and do a question. Now over here, what we have to show that CD bisects AB. CD bisects AB. That means if CD bisects AB, first of all, let us write down what is given to us. Right? Let us write down what is given to us. So AD and BC are equal perpendicular. So we are given that AC and BD, AD and BD are equal. In short, so we are given that AD R is equals to your BC as they are the equal perpendiculars to the line segment AB. This is what is given to us, right? What we have to prove? What basically do we have to prove? So, over here we have to prove simply that CD bisects AB. What is the meaning of bisects? Splits into two equal parts. That means we have to simply show that OB is equal to OA. This is what the question means, right? Let us start with the proving. All right. So there are the two triangles that we can clearly see, right? In this particular question, these two triangles, that is this and this triangle, BOC and AOD. Now, in triangle BOC, students, and triangle AOD. Now, these are the two triangles that we have. The very first thing that we can write is, see, 90 degree and 90 degree. So, we can say that angle A is equal to angle B as both are 90 degrees. The next thing that we can say this angle BOC is equals to AOD, vertically opposite angle. That is, angle BOC is equals to angle AOD, and why we can say that? Because these are vertically opposite angles. The next thing that we can say is AD is equals to BC. AD is equals to BC as this is given to us in the question. Now see, angle, and then side. Angle, and then side. So these two triangles will be congruent by angle, and then side rule. So these two triangles will be congruent by AAS criteria, that is angle side criteria, and we can simply write down that OB is equals to OA by CPCT. If OA is equals to OB, then we can say that CD bisects AB. Clear with everyone? Right? I hope this thing is clear with everyone. Let's move forward to some more properties of triangle. Now, these properties are specifically for a triangle known as isosceles triangle. Now, what does isosceles triangle mean, students? Isosceles triangle is a triangle in which two sides are equal, right? So, the first property says angle opposite to equal sides of isosceles triangle are also equal. So, if we have an isosceles triangle, for example, like this, and if this side is equals to this side, so angle opposite to these two sides will also be equal. And the converse of this is also possible, that if the two angles are given equal, so the sides opposite to them will be equal too. In triangle ABC, the bisector AD of angle A is perpendicular to side BC. Show that AB is equals to AC. That is ABC. Of course, if I show that AB is equals to AC, I will be showing that it is an isosceles triangle. First of all, let's see what is given. AD is bisector of angle A. Let us write down what is given to us in the question. Right? So what is given to us in the question is, students, that AD is the bisector of angle A. That means angle BAD is equal to angle CAD. Right? Angle A is perpendicular to side BC. That means this angle is 90 degree. Now what we have to show that AB is equals to AC. To show that AB is equals to AC, let us quickly do what? Let us prove the congruency between these two. Let us quickly do what? Let us prove the congruency. Alright, so which will be the two triangles that we will be taking, BAD and CAD. Now in triangle BAD, students, and triangle CAD. Now in both of these triangles, what we can say, that angle BAD is equal to angle CAD. Why? As this AD is bisector, AD bisects angle A. Right? The next thing that we can say is what? We can say that AD is equals to AD, students. And AD is equals to AD. How can we say that? Because it is common in both the triangles. The next thing that we can say this, that angle ADB is equivalent to angle ADC as 90 degree each. So by, students, side angle side, see, sorry, angle side angle, angle side angle. So by ASA rule or ASA criteria, the two triangles will be what? Congruent. And if two triangles are congruent, so we can clearly say that AB is equals to AC by CPCT, that is corresponding parts of your congruent triangles. So these are the corresponding parts of your congruent triangles, and this is how we can show that AB is equivalent to AC. Now the next thing that we have is some more criteria of triangle. Now triple S congruency criteria, the simplest one. In two triangles, if all the three sides of one triangle are equal to all the three sides of the other triangle, then the triangles are congruent. Very simple. If two triangles are there, right? For example, this is 3 centimeter, this is 4 centimeter, and this is 6 centimeter. For example, this is 3, this is 4, and this is 6. Now, the three sides of this triangle is equal to three sides of the other triangle. So, we can clearly say that these two triangles are what? Congruent to each other. Now, the next congruency criteria is what we have, RHS congruency, that is right angle, hypotenuse and side. This criteria is only and only applicable to your right angled triangle. This criteria is only and only applicable to the right angled triangle. Right? Now, what does it mean? Right angle, right angle. Right angle of one triangle equal to right angle of other triangle. The hypotenuse is the mandatory side. That is right angle, right angle. Hypotenuse, has to be there because the rule itself says RHS, right angle, hypotenuse, and any of the two sides, any of the remaining sides, basically perpendicular and base. So once we have taken right angle and hypotenuse, so either perpendicular is given, so we can take side of perpendicular. If base is given, so we can take base as the side. That means from the remaining two sides, any one side will be applicable. So such criteria will give us what? RHS congruency. But you have to be very specific. You have to be very specific when you are solving RHS criteria, as you should have the hypotenuse equal, right angle, and any side. Certain times they give questions of right angle triangle, but blindly do not follow RHS in any right angle triangle. First of all, just look at what is given to you. For example, even if the triangles are given to you as right angles, right? So this angle is 90 degree. This angle is 90 degree. This side is 3 centimeter. This side is also 3 centimeter. This side is 4 centimeter. This side is also 4 centimeter. Right? Now, look at this figure very carefully. Now in this, you cannot apply RHS congruency. Why? Because the hypotenuse is not provided to you. So you have to make sure that the hypotenuse is given. If it is not given, so you will be using side angle side as SAS congruency, even if it is a right angle. Right? So in any right angle, any of the criteria can be used, but you have to be very sure of when you are using RHS because hypotenuse has to be there. So please look at the figure very, very carefully whenever you are doing the questions related to RHS. The next question that we have over here is two sides AB and BC and median AM of one triangle ABC are respectively equal to sides PQ, QR and median PN. So we have to show that this triangle ABM is congruent to this triangle PQ, and it is very simple, students. We can clearly see that AB is equals to PQ. It is given in the question. BM is equals to QM. That is also given in the question. And AM is equals to PN. It is also given in the question. So by sides, as all the three sides of one triangle are equal to all the three sides of the other triangle, so it will be simply congruent to each other by triple S criteria. Now let's move forward to do some MCQs. Now in a triangle ABC, side BC produced to D, if angle ABC is 50, ACD is 110, we have to find angle A. Very simple question. See, if this angle is 110, let us say this angle be X. So we can say that X plus 110 will be equal to 180. Why, students? Linear pair. Right? So we can say that value of X is equivalent to 70 degree. So the value of X comes out to be what? 70 degree. Now if this is 70 degree, now in triangle ABC, if one angle is 50, one angle is 70, the other one will be 60 degree. That is option number B will be the correct answer for this question. The next question that we have is, in this triangle, we have to find angle A. First of all, we can find this angle as they both are forming linear pair. If they are forming linear pair, that means the sum of both these angles is 180. If one is 125, the other one is 55. Over here, if one is 130, the other one is 50. So over here we have this is remaining 75 degree. That is option number D will be the correct answer for the question. Now this third question is your homework question. So please attempt this question, students, and do let me know the answer in the comment section. If you have any doubts, so this was all about the session, students, and if you have any doubt, please feel free to comment down. I will be very happy to help you. And thank you you so much. I hope that this lecture is informative. I hope that now there is no confusion between RHS, triple S, ASA, AS, and your side angle side congruency. I hope everything is completely clear with you people. Thank you so much for attending the lecture. I'll see you in the next ultimate recap. Till then, take care. Bye bye.